Coffee sits in your hand every morning, but for a man over 40, it quietly shapes your prostate health, your sleep, your strength, even your confidence. One simple powder you can stir into that same cup can support your prostate in a way many pricey pills promise and never deliver. And I want you to know about it. I'm Dr. Catherine Rotker, a urologist who has spent over 20 years listening to men tell the same story, waking up 3, 4, 5 times a night. That slow, frustrating stream, the constant urge on every car ride, the fear that an enlarged prostate, what we call BPH, is taking over life. When this gland swells, it squeezes the tube that carries urine, depriving you of sleep, raising the risk of a dangerous fall, and slowly drains energy and testosterone. You deserve better than shrugging it off or suffering in silence. In this video, I will reveal the top 8 prostate-supporting powders you can stir into your coffee, counting down to the #1 most powerful combination. The #1 entry is so effective that research shows it works as well as some prescription medications for prostate comfort, but without the harsh side effects. Before we dive into the list, I would love to hear from you. How old are you? Where are you watching from? And what is your biggest concern about your prostate health right now? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I personally read every single one. Let's begin with number 8, and it might surprise you. We are starting with ginger. Stirring this spicy root into your morning coffee turns it into a daily protection weapon for your prostate. The reason ginger works so well comes down to 2 special compounds inside it called gingerols and zingerone. These are powerful natural substances that calm inflammation and oxidative stress throughout your body for your prostate. This calming effect is crucial. We now know that constant low-level inflammation is a key driver of prostate swelling and irritation. When the tissue stays inflamed, it presses on the bladder and makes you feel that constant need to go even when you just did. Those compounds work by blocking the very enzymes that spark this inflammation, putting a direct brake on processes that lead to prostate growth. Take Richard, a patient of mine in his mid-50s. He came to me feeling exhausted because he was waking up 2 or 3 times every night with pressure and discomfort, making those necessary but frustrating trips to the bathroom. On a friend's suggestion, he started adding just half a teaspoon of ginger powder to his morning coffee. After a few consistent weeks, he was sleeping through the night more often. That constant feeling of pressure in his lower abdomen had significantly eased. When he came back to the clinic for his follow-up, we were both pleased to see that his PSA, a lab test for prostate strain, had stabilized. If you want to try it, start with a mere half teaspoon of ground ginger in your coffee each day. Stir it well or blend it for a smoother texture. If the taste feels a bit strong, a little cinnamon or honey softens it nicely. Unlike a sugary creamer that adds empty calories and worsens inflammation, ginger adds no sugar, no dairy, and brings meaningful benefits. It's a clean, easy way to upgrade what you already drink. This is the beauty of what we're doing today. No adding pills or chasing gimmicks. Now, while ginger is excellent in calming fires in your prostate, our next ingredient acts more like a master regulator inside your body, helping to balance the very hormones that lead to prostate troubles. Moving on to number 7, we have cardamom. You may know this as a fragrant spice used in pastries or the occasional fancy latte, but just a dash of this aromatic powder into your coffee turns it into a hidden daily prostate-up-supporting superfood. Cardamom works on several fronts. It contains unique plant compounds that help your body maintain healthier hormone balance, especially the delicate link between testosterone and DHT, the hormone that often drives prostate swelling. It also helps protect prostate cells from oxidative stress, which is the slow wear and tear caused by inflammation and toxins. Many men don't realize that inflammation doesn't only make joints ache, it also irritates the prostate and the bladder right beside it. By calming that irritation, cardamom helps reduce that constant sense of urgency that disrupts your day and your sleep. Alan, one of my longtime patients, came to me at 60, feeling uneasy after a close friend's prostate cancer scare. He wanted to take small, proactive steps to protect his own health. He read that in parts of the Middle East, men often add cardamom to coffee for wellness, so he tried it just a quarter teaspoon each morning. Within 2 to 3 weeks, he wasn't rushing to the bathroom as often after coffee, his digestion felt calmer and his usual bloating eased up. At his next checkup, his PSA levels were stable, nothing dramatic, but he smiled and said, "Doctor, it feels like I'm finally doing something that takes care of me." That's the quiet strength of these habits. To give this very easy upgrade a try, start small. You only need a pinch to a quart teaspoon. Mix it right into your coffee grounds before brewing or stir it into your cup afterward. The flavor is naturally smooth, slightly sweet, and gives your coffee that rich Turkish coffee aroma without sugar or artificial creamers. Now, where cardamom works by helping to manage your internal hormones, our number 6 ingredient operates on an even deeper level. Number 6 on our list takes us to a practice cherished for centuries in parts of Asia, where green tea is celebrated as a longevity elixir. When you mix green tea powder, known as matcha, into your coffee, what people now call a dirty matcha, you blend two worlds, the bold kick of coffee and the deep protection of one of the most studied natural drinks on earth. It might sound unusual, but more and more men are doing it because the science-backed benefits for prostate health are simply too strong to ignore. Matcha is uniquely potent because it is packed with powerful antioxidants called kachans. One in particular, known as EGCG, helps protect your prostate cells from inflammation and the daily wear and tear that makes the prostate swell or become irritated. Research shows these compounds even help slow the growth of unwanted cells by depriving them of the nutrients they need. At the same time, matcha offers a smooth, steady energy boost. It contains L-theanine, which works with caffeine to promote focus and alertness without the jitters or a harsh crash later. I remember Dan, 54, a longtime coffee drinker who couldn't stand the taste of green tea. His father had successfully battled prostate cancer, so Dan was highly motivated to protect his health, but didn't want to give up his daily coffee. He started blending half a teaspoon of matcha into morning coffee, whisking it in until it turned a warm green-brown blend. The change surprised him. His energy stayed steady through the morning. He also noticed he had lost a few stubborn pounds around his waist. Most importantly, his annual blood work came back with PSA levels and cholesterol holding perfectly steady within a healthy range, which gave him tremendous peace of mind. To try this yourself, pick a good quality matcha powder, just pure finely ground green tea leaves. I recommend you begin with 1/4 to half a teaspoon stirred or blended into hot coffee. It will create vibrant green-hued drink with a rich, slightly earthly flavor that many people genuinely enjoy. No sugar, no artificial creamers, just a clean, natural addition that delivers the benefits of several cups of green tea in one serving. This approach focuses on protecting your health at a cellular level. At number 5, we find one of the simple ground flax seed. No fancy label, no hype, just tiny brown seeds sitting quietly on a grocery shelf waiting to be noticed. Most people walk right past them, not realizing that for men over 40, this simple food can powerfully guard the prostate. I tell my patients all the time, sometimes the biggest results come from the smallest daily choices. Flaxseed's secret lies in two key components, lignans and omega-3s. In your body, lignans act a bit like filters, binding excess hormones and helping your system get rid of what it doesn't need. That's important because hormones like DHT encourages the prostate to swell. When those levels stay balanced, your prostate stays calmer and smaller. Alongside that, the omega-3s and flax help reduce inflammation throughout your body, including around the prostate. Add in the fiber, which supports blood sugar and helps with weight control, and you've got a food that makes your whole internal environment steadier and less prone to problems. I'll give you an example. Greg, 61, was one of my regular patients. His PSA had been creeping up little by little. His urologist suggested watchful waiting, which basically meant do nothing for now. Greg didn't like that idea. He wanted to act, even in a small way. So he started adding 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed into his morning coffee, blending it for smoothness. Over the next few months, 2 changes stood out. He wasn't reaching for sugary snacks anymore and lost about 5 pounds without trying. When he returned to the clinic, we saw his PSA had stabilized. His doctor smiled and said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It is important to always use ground flaxseed as your body cannot break down the tough outer shell of the whole seeds." You can buy it pre-grown or grind it yourself in a coffee grinder. Add about 1 tablespoon to your hot coffee and stir or blend it in. The taste is mild and nutty, and if your coffee thickens slightly, that's a good sign. It means the soluble fiber is working. No added sugar, very few calories, and a big payoff for your prostate, your waistline, and your long-term vitality. By the way, if you are finding this information helpful, I encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. How has your health journey been lately? I would really love to hear from you in the comments below, and if you are able to, clicking the super thanks button is a direct way to support our mission of creating more content like this for you. Number 4 on our list is a true hidden gem. I want to introduce to black seed, also known as Nigella sativa or black cumin. For centuries in Middle Eastern and Asian traditions, it's been known as the seed of blessing. Today I'd call it something slightly different, the seed of protection. It's not exotic or mystical, it's simply an old remedy that modern science is beginning to confirm. The power of black seed comes from a potent compound within it called thymoquinone, along with a powerful mix of antioxidants. These compounds help your body by taking a direct aim at the two primary drivers of prostate issues. First, they act as natural and gentle DHT blockers. Remember, DHT is that form of testosterone that encourages prostate growth. Black seeds inhibit the very hormone that creates DHT, helping to slow this process down. Second, its antioxidants help protect prostate cells from damage and irritation, keeping the prostate tissue calmer and healthier over time. One of my patients, Sam, 57, comes to mind. He's an engineer who liked data, not folk remedies. He'd been dealing with that frustrating cycle, needing to pee again right after going, waking up at night, and always feeling a dull pressure down low. On his grandson's suggestion, he started adding a small pinch, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, of black seed powder to his morning coffee. He balanced the slightly bitter taste with a dash of cinnamon. After a few weeks, he noticed that he wasn't making as many mid-morning bathroom trips. Within 2 months, most nights, he slept straight through without interruption. The heaviness eased and he said it felt like his bladder finally relaxed. Later, when he read about black seed's research showing lower DHT and reduced prostate weight, he smiled and said, "Looks like the science finally caught up with my coffee." Because its flavor is distinctively herbal and peppery, I suggest you start with a very small amount. A mere pinch stirred into your coffee is enough. The flavor has a light herbal peppery note that pairs well with strong coffee, or you can mix it with a little honey before adding it to your cup. It's been used safely for centuries as both a spice and a tonic. The key is consistency. Give it a few weeks of daily use, and many men begin to feel less pressure, fewer night awakenings, and a calmer, steadier flow. Number 3 brings us to a food you might normally think of as that crunchy thing on top of salads or something you toss out when carving a pumpkin. But in truth, pumpkin seeds, whether ground or in oil form, are one of the most respected natural prostate remedies used for decades across Europe. When you blend them into your morning coffee, you're not making some seasonal drink. You're turning it into a quiet daily act of therapy for your prostate. Pumpkin seeds work in several smart ways. The first are phytosterols, with one in particular beta-sitosterol. This compound naturally interferes with DHT, the hormone we now know contributes to prostate growth. Then there's zinc. Your prostate holds more zinc than almost any other organ for a reason. It's essential for tissue repair, hormone balance, and keeping inflammation in check. Add magnesium and antioxidants, and you've got support that extends beyond the prostate to your bladder and urinary system. The result is smoother urine flow, less stop and start frustration, and fewer late-night bathroom interruptions. One of my patients, George, 64, had been waking up 3 or 4 times a night because of his swollen prostate. He was tired, drained, and dreading the idea of adding more pills. A friend mentioned that in parts of Europe, men have long relied on pumpkin seeds for urinary comfort. Skeptical but hopeful, George began blending a heaping tablespoon of ground pumpkin seeds into his morning coffee, adding a splash of almond milk for texture. Within weeks, his nightly bathroom trips dropped to 1 or sometimes none. His flow felt stronger, and his next checkup showed his prostate was slightly smaller. His doctor even noted that his symptom score had improved. Clinical trials back this experience. They found that long-term pumpkin seed use eases prostate symptoms, improve flow, and perform on par with certain medications without the side effects. You can use pumpkin seeds in 2 simple ways. The first is to grind raw, unsalted seeds into a fine powder and stir about 1 tablespoon into your hot coffee. It gives a nutty, toasty flavor and adds a gentle richness. The second option is to use pumpkin seed oil. Stir in 1 to 2 teaspoons of cold-pressed oil into your cup, and it creates a smooth, silky drink. If you already make bulletproof coffee with butter or MCT oil, swap part of that fat for pumpkin seed oil. It's a smarter upgrade. Real food with protein, healthy fats, and minerals instead of artificial creamers or sugary mixes that quietly harm your health. Pumpkin seeds remind us that prostate problems aren't an unchangeable fate. Your body listens to what you feed it. One scoop in your coffee won't change everything overnight, but over time it can mean fewer restless nights and more control during the day. Our number 2 entry is reishi mushroom. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's known as lingji, which translates to the mushroom of immortality. It has been used for over 2,000 years as a tonic to help elders stay strong and live longer. These days, mushroom coffee is suddenly trendy. But what most people don't realize is that reishi's benefits go much deeper than hype. This humble mushroom holds rare compounds that directly support a man's prostate, immune system, and energy levels in ways modern science is only beginning to understand. Rei's remarkable power lies in its bioactive compounds, terpenes, beta-glucans, and plant sterols like beta-ol. These natural molecules work on several fronts at once. Triterpenes gently slows the production of DHT, the hormone we know encourages prostate growth. Its beta-glucans and antioxidants powerfully calm inflammation and help train your immune system to respond more intelligently, reducing irritation in the urinary tract. Promising early research also show that rei may help abnormal cells self-destruct, offering a layer of long-term protection that few natural ingredients can match. I remember Victor, 70, a patient of mine who had been struggling with mild prostate enlargement. His medication worked but left him dizzy and drained. He wanted another way. I told him about rei coffee. Skeptical but open-minded, Victor started stirring a teaspoon of high-quality rei powder into his morning black coffee. After a few weeks, he noticed that his energy stayed steady through the day. By the 3rd month, he was waking up just once at night instead of 3 times. His flow improved, and that one nightly trip no longer felt urgent. When he came back for his checkup, his PSA number had dipped a little and his prostate exam looked stable. Even his previous doctor, who had dismissed mushrooms as nonsense, said, "Whatever you're doing, it's working." For the best results, look for a reputable reishi mushroom powder organelle lucidum extract. Stir about ½ to 1 teaspoon into your hot coffee. Heat helps it dissolve and blend smoothly, and the earthy taste softens the bitterness of coffee. Add a splash of milk or a pinch of cinnamon if you prefer. At this amount, rei acts like a quiet maintenance crew inside your body, helping manage hormone balance, reduce inflammation, and support the immune defenses that keep your prostate healthy. By now, your morning coffee has evolved far beyond caffeine. You've turned it into a layered prostate support system. Spices that cool inflammation, seeds that balance hormones, and now mushrooms that strengthen your immune defenses. But the number 1 spot is reserved for something truly special. It is a combination of 2 powerful natural extracts, and the clinical research behind it is so strong that it demonstrates results comparable to pharmaceutical options. This is the ultimate revelation in transforming your coffee into a potent, proactive prostate medicine. I'm talking about the combination of saw palmetto and stinging nettle root. This golden duo represents the ultimate level of natural support, transforming your daily coffee into a truly potent prostate-protecting elixir. They work together like a dedicated tag team. Saw palmetto acts first by blocking the enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT. This effectively starves the prostate of the primary hormonal signal that tells it to grow. Then stinging nettle root steps in right after. It makes it much harder for the remaining DHT from binding to receptors in the prostate, which means even the leftover hormone can't shout as loudly. Nettle also helps keep hormone balance steady by easing mild estrogen buildup and reducing irritation in the tissue. Together, saw palmetto and nettle work as a cleanup crew. Saw palmetto limits the fuel and nettle calms the sparks. This combination also tackles inflammation, which is often the hidden driver behind the worst prostate symptoms, that burning, dribbling feeling, and the constant need to rush to the bathroom. Nettle helps in this area by gently supporting the urinary tract and helping you empty your bladder more completely. Saw palmetto adds another layer by soothing the irritated tissue itself. When inflammation cools down, urgency fades, and your body starts to regain control. It's not only about reducing size, it's about restoring calm where chaos used to be. Let me share Frank's story. He's 68 and had hit his breaking point. 5 bathroom trips a night, always scanning public places for the nearest restroom. He was tired of strong medications that left him dizzy and weak. A friend suggested he try saw palmetto with nettle. Frank found a good powdered blend and began stirring a teaspoon into his morning coffee with a little almond milk. Within a few weeks, he noticed he was only getting up twice a night. By the 3rd month, he often slept straight through. During the day, he felt less pressure, more control, and even noticed a quiet return of energy and intimacy. At his follow-up,